The Galactic Council was livid. Their crystal chambers thrummed with a rage so palpable it made the gravitic field shiver. Dozens of alien emissaries barked over each other, claws scratching consoles, mandibles snapping, voices like volcanic eruptions. And in the center of it all sat the human ambassador, leaning back in his chair, glass of amber in hand, smiling like a man who'd just found a winning lottery ticket in the trash. 500,000 dreadnoughts, hissed Vorthak of the Galactic, six-limbed and scaled, eyes burning with disbelief. You must be joking. The human chuckled, slow and deliberate, a sound that cut through the room's fury like a blade. You think we joke? That's just the ones we're telling you about. A wave of confusion rippled through the council. Emissaries sputtered, sensors flared, holographic translators struggled to keep up. Vorthak's orange eyes widened. We were told humans are primitive, resource limited. Yet somehow you amassed 500,000 dreadnoughts without our knowledge? The human shrugged. We like to keep our surprises. It's a hobby. A holomap flickered to life above the table. Stars blinked into formations, hundreds of massive warships, black and bronze steel giants, each bristling with weapons that made even the Council's fleets look like toys. The room fell silent. Even the bravest of alien generals froze, sensing something primal in that display. You can't possibly, Vorthak stammered, but the words died in his throat. The human leaned forward, eyes glinting. We already did. Your fleets won't last an hour if you try to blockade Earth. And before you ask, yes, every dreadnought is fully armed, crewed, and ready to obliterate your peacekeeping fleets. Surprise is underrated. Then, almost casually, he added, shall we test the theory? The council erupted. Screams, psychic flares, claws striking metal, and yet through it all, the human simply smiled. Calm, amused, terrifyingly confident. Humanity had entered the galactic stage not as a player, but as a reckoning. Moments later, the human fleet emerged from subspace like a black tide swallowing the stars. Alien sensors went haywire, shields flaring as coordinated plasma volleys carved through defense arrays. The Council had planned intimidation, a display of power to bend humans to their will, but they hadn't counted on humans. The first wave struck like meteors. Orbital weapon platforms vaporized before they even registered the incoming threat. Command hubs overloaded and exploded in showers of molten metal. Some species tried hasty negotiations mid-combat, sending psychic pleas, holographic surrender protocols, even desperate bribes, but the human fleet moved with ruthless precision. No ship slowed. No salvo missed. Calculation anomaly, the Galactic admiral screamed, his reflective biomass cracking under psychic stress. Every attack, optimized. Every ship, anticipating our moves. Human AI had learned from centuries of small-scale warfare, Earth's petty conflicts, Martian mining rebellions, asteroid bandit skirmishes. Algorithms ran improvisation alongside strategy, turning chaos into a deadly rhythm. To the alien fleets, it looked like coordinated chaos, jazz played on the bones of their ships. Communications channels buzzed with a human voice, calm yet mocking, welcome to your lesson in underestimation. Try not to blink. Even the Council's secret countermeasures failed. Mines detonated early, ambush drones were intercepted before launch, and once trusted officers suddenly found their own ships sabotaged by embedded nanotech that had been seeded months before. Every move they made was anticipated and exploited. Back in the council chambers, emissaries panicked. Strategies that had survived centuries evaporated in minutes. Shields failed, engines exploded, and fleets meant to demonstrate superiority were reduced to drifting wreckage. The humans weren't just fighting, they were orchestrating annihilation with a composer's finesse and a butcher's hand. And in the center of it all, the human ambassador remained calm, swirling his amber glass, watching the holographic feed with a predator's amusement. Humanity had done more than survive, they had become a nightmare the galaxy hadn't even imagined. By the time the Council realized the scale of the attack, their flagship, designed to withstand supernova blasts, was nothing more than a molten husk drifting through empty space. Alien diplomats screamed, clawed at consoles, and spat curses that shattered the air. The galaxy's supposed masters were suddenly terrified children in a schoolyard, and humanity had become the executioner. Yet through the chaos, the human ambassador remained eerily calm. He leaned over the holographic feed, eyes glinting like polished obsidian. Every alien maneuver was met with a counter, fleets were funneled into traps, retreats intercepted by hidden drones, and assault waves anticipated with terrifying precision. Humanity didn't just fight, they orchestrated the carnage. Then came the twist. Hidden within the Council's own fleets, humans had planted tiny, self-replicating nanotech warheads, invisible until activated. One signal, one command, and entire ships disintegrated from the inside, leaving only ghostly outlines of energy. Invulnerable vessels, the pride of empires that had conquered galaxies, were reduced to nothing more than cosmic dust. A Galactic general's roar echoed through space. Impossible. Our shields, our AI, everything fails. They've turned our own technology against us. The human voice cut through the panic, casual and cold. Do you ever underestimate us again? There was no hesitation, no mercy implied. The Council's fleet, once a symbol of dominance, crumbled in minutes. Every species that thought humanity could be bargained with, intimidated, or coerced learned the same lesson: humanity was unpredictable, relentless, and terrifyingly clever. Some tried to flee, slipping through subspace conduits or hidden warp tunnels. The humans let them, sometimes. Others were given a choice: surrender, and perhaps live to fight another day. The Council understood quickly that even this mercy was a weapon. Humanity didn't just annihilate fleets, they destroyed pride, morale, and the illusion of control. And the human ambassador, sipping his amber calmly, allowed himself a small smile. The galaxy had assumed humans were primitive, that they could be manipulated, contained, or ignored. Now, every species knew the truth: underestimating Earth was a death sentence. By the end of the week, the Council chambers were silent, save for the crackle of failing energy fields and the faint hiss of damaged life support systems. Alien species had either fled, surrendered, or vanished entirely. Humanity hadn't celebrated, Earth didn't issue proclamations, didn't broadcast their victory. Defending your home was routine. Crushing entire fleets of overconfident aliens? Just another day. The human ambassador returned to his quarters, poured another glass of amber, and stared out into the void. 3 days of negotiation, 3 seconds would have sufficed, he muttered. The words weren't boastful, they were matter of fact. Humanity had shown restraint, even as they demonstrated the overwhelming force no species had anticipated. In the aftermath, rumors spread across the galaxy. Transmissions recorded by terrified survivors painted the same chilling message: humans didn't just fight, they predicted, manipulated, and executed with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. Entire councils had collapsed, alliances fractured, and fleets once considered invincible were now legends of ash. Somewhere, a Galactic survivor sent a trembling hollow message back to their homeworld: you will not survive our patience. You will only survive our mercy. Humanity had proven a simple law: underestimate them at your own peril. And mercy, when offered, was a calculated weapon, not a gift. The galaxy had learned something terrifyingly simple: humans thrived in chaos, outsmarted the cleverest, and turned arrogance into vulnerability. Every alien empire would think twice before claiming Earth as an inferior species. Even centuries of military might could not prepare them for the cunning, brutality, and unpredictability of humanity. And as the stars slowly returned to calm, the human ambassador leaned back, swirling his glass. The galaxy had learned a new rule: never, under any circumstance, bet against humanity. Because when humans fight, they don't just win, they redefine the meaning of survival.